I hear 'em chat in the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear 'em chat with the boys, not so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp.
So today we'll be going through my process of making my renders and also going through other people's renders. And also stay tuned for the next video to where I will be giving y'all everything that we know so far on the 812 Versione Speciale. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below to help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers in 2021. And we do have a ton of car content that is coming up, including exciting supercar vlogs. So if you're a car fan like me, you're gonna like this channel. Alright, so before we get into my process of making my renders, let's take a look at some of the renders made by other people. Here is render number 1, and here is also render number 1 made by that same person, but this is a side view of it. Looks really good. Now, this render right here looks like the test mule of the 812 Versione Speciale, but this just looked really good also. Now here's render number 3. Finally, here is my renders, and here is the back of the car, and here is the front of the car. And again, I worked super hard on this, so make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe down below if you haven't already. It would help me a lot. So with that being said, let's jump right into my process of making it. I started off with a Mansory 812 Superfast, and after that I redesigned the entire car. Literally the only thing I kept the same on the entire car was the taillights. The first few design features I made on this car was that ginormous front outtake for the front hood. Of course, that is to extract any heat coming from that massive engine. And then we made that ginormous crazy looking rear deck lid. Of course, that was on the leaked photo of the 812 VS. And I also made this rear grille near the taillights, similar to what the F12 TDF had. I then redesigned the front outtake for the front wheels, and I made it bigger. Of course, you would want that to extract more air and turbulence coming from the front wheels. Now, while this car was actually testing, it deleted that rear intake near the rear windows, so we just did that on this car and made it look cleaner. I think that the Ferrari FXXK Evo was one of the best looking Ferraris ever made, and I just took inspiration from that rear grille near the taillights of the FXXK Evo, but we are just going to change this up later on the 812 Versione Speciale. To me, the number 1 slot for the best looking rear end of any Ferrari goes to the 812 Superfast and the LaFerrari, and of course the gorgeous 488 and 488 Pista, so we are just going to take the 812 Superfast and turn it up to 813 Superfast, if that makes sense. And then I took inspiration from the Ferrari F8 Tributo side skirts. Now this was basically the rough draft of the side skirts because I redid the entire side skirts later on in the video. On the 812 Versione Speciale test mule, it had these crazy vents near the rear exhaust, so we are just going to put those vents on this exhaust and also make a bigger diffuser. The Ferrari F8 Tributo has these sort of hidden vents near the front splitter, and that is to extract any air and for aerodynamic purposes, so we just took inspiration from that and put it onto this render. And as I said earlier, now we are going to redesign the side skirts of this car. And yeah, we are basically all done with my renders of the 812 Versione Speciale rear. Now we're going to move on to the front of the car, but I did change a few things on the rear, and I also did change the background of it just to make it a little bit more unique. While the 812 Versione Speciale was testing with production bodywork, while it was covered up, it looked like it had a similar front bumper to the Ferrari Pista's front bumper, so we are just going to take inspiration from the Pista and add it onto this render. But later on in the video, I'm just going to add some more cuts and lines for aerodynamic purposes and to make it look a little bit more unique.
I hear him chat with the boys, man so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, white girls let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan, if you wanna touch man, please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees, I'm out the cage, gotta...
And then I deleted the front intakes on the front hood near the front headlights, but then how are we even going to get the brakes cooled? Well, I do have a solution for that, and later on in the video, I actually made newer style front intakes, and it's very similar to the Ferrari 458 intakes near the headlights of that car, and to me it looks much cleaner than the standard 812 Superfast intake.
I hear him chat with the boys, man so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, white girls let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan, if you wanna touch man, please use caution. Beg, please get on your knees, came from the jungle, up in the trees, I got a few tricks up in the sleeve.
And now I'm just creating those extra lines and cuts in the front bumper. Of course, I said it's for aerodynamic purposes, also it's to make it a little bit more unique. But the lines are still elegant, as a Ferrari should be.
Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, man so tough, but mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, white girls let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan, if you wanna touch man, please use caution. Stop that. Stop that.
And then I added that massive front outtake on the front hood for the massive engine, and of course that is to extract any heat coming from the engine. But then I did change it up a little bit, and I did change up a little bit of the other parts of the car, such as the side skirts and the rear window and the rear wing, and this is what it looks like after. Say hello to my renders and what could look like the upcoming Ferrari 812 Versione Speciale.
Stop that. Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise, then stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, mans keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize. If you wanna touch my, please use caution.
Alright, yeah, but that is basically it for my process of making my renders on the 812 Versione Speciale. Now again, make sure you stay tuned for my next video, to where I will be giving y'all everything that we know so far on the 812 VS. That video will be coming up very, very soon, and I know you'll love it. And also, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below to help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers in 2021. And we do have a ton of car content that is coming up, including exciting supercar vlogs. So if you're a car fan like me, you're gonna like this channel. But yeah, that is basically it for today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please give it a like, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and stay tuned for the upcoming car content. It is going to be absolutely insane. If you loved today's video, I know you'll love my other videos, so I recommend you go check them out. But I hope to see you in a future video. Bye for now. 1900 horsepower. How you like the speedsters? Three SVJs. Insanity.